Welcome, everybody. I'm Jabby Coe, joined by Julia WEIN.
Hello.
We're looking at a ice cream sandwich video today. An ice cream sandwich. Correct English. I usually try and save spiders is the name of this particular video. Not me, but maybe Julia tries to save spiders. Do you?
I don't know. There's so many legs, so it's hard to...
Weird coincidence. There's one right next to you.
Okay,
I'm just
well,
joking.
hopefully not.
I'm just kidding. That was a terrible joke. Very dad joke. He basically makes these like sketch-type videos through animation. One of my favorite YouTubers of all time.
Okay,
just like makes me so happy every time I watch one of his videos. And I find them, generally speaking, very relatable. So on that note, you guys, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications. Pretty please vote this up. Let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. Why subscribing and upvoting. Subscribe to Ice Cream Sandwich. There's a link in the description below if you want to click on that link, give the original video an upvote. Subscribe to him from there. One more, sorry. Follow Julia WEIN on the social media. All right, here we go.
That happened to me once.
That means bugs are back out. For bugs, it's the time to thrive and do bug-type stuff. For us, it's time we get to enjoy the sun and also be thankful that I don't live in Australia. Spiders are not easy to calmly deal with, even if you do not live in Australia, where they're 10 times the size of a small child. They're freaky and scary. This is no secret. I'm totally on the same page. I don't think I could ever muster up enough courage to hold one in my hand or let one crawl on my arm like they do to help people who have fear of spiders get over their fear of spiders.
No.
Even like a daddy longlegs, which aren't harmful to humans and generally passive. Also not even a spider, apparently. I wouldn't touch them.
I didn't know that.
No, thank you. But despite my fear, I try my best to keep the balance of nature and will usually capture and release a spider when I see one indoors. It's not an easy thing to do, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. And it's for the better. Because now birds can eat them.
Okay.
Oh, God.
No total saint.
Okay, so what do you do when you see a spider?
Definitely scream and panic. Him shaking in the video the way that he was is me when I see one. I'm like getting chills down my spine.
You don't try to save them.
You know, there was actually one time where my friend and I were in her bedroom. We saw a spider and we just walked out. We closed the door. We said, "This is your room now." And we didn't go in her room. I'm not even kidding, for a week. We slept on the couch.
What?
And it wasn't big. It was a spider. I don't know what it is. There's too many legs, I think.
I thought you're like a nature person.
I am, but spiders, for some reason, like, I don't know what it is. I'm like literally getting itchy just thinking about it right now. But
All right.
What about you? What do you do?
Oh, I kill them immediately. I come at all of them with the same ferocity. If it's a baby one, I freak out all the same. I will scream all the same with my war cry, and I'll come at them with my tomahawk. Like, whatever it is, no matter how small, how big. However, if it's like the size of my hand, then I go into a state of panic like you did, and I have to come up with like a strategy.
Have you seen a spider the size of your hand?
In Thailand, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think my soul would leave my body
If you guys haven't heard that story yet, I'll tell it after the reaction.
But I'm no total saint. I used to go to a friend's cabin a lot in the summer to engage in summer-type activities, like canoeing and fishing and stuff like that. It's way up in northern Minnesota, right next to the Boundary Waters, so raw nature kind of place. It takes hours to get there, but the trip was always fun, because I was with good friends. Lots of good memories there.
Oh.
I miss that cabin. Now, I say cabin, but I really mean like a lake house. It was a really nice place. But when my brain sees a structure next to some water in a woodsy area, my knee-jerk reaction is to call it a cabin. So I'm gonna just keep doing that. Cool. So this cabin was really nice. Everything you needed there, temperature control, electricity, running water, full kitchen. The only thing that was...
That's the most important thing, man. That's why I can't do camping. I had to poop outside in the woods once, and I was like, I do not like this experience. I don't care if it's how my ancestors did it. I'm not interested. I don't like it.
That's why glamping is really taking off.
Yeah.
You get the luxury of the outdoors, but you still have running water.
Yeah, Kirk asked me if I wanted to go to Coachella, and I was like, I would happily go if I'm doing whatever the glamping equivalent is, because they have like two factions. The people who don't want to spend as much money, and the people who are willing to spend more money. And I'm like, don't really care about Coachella, but if I'm going to go to the latter.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sharing a toilet with all... I've heard horror stories, you know?
Yeah, who knows what goes on in there, honestly. Yeah. There's a whole lot of people you don't know.
Yeah.
So.
Somewhat lacking was pest control, specifically the bug kind. This particular summer, we had just gotten to the cabin. We're bringing our stuff inside from the cars, claiming who gets what bed and what room, stocking the bathrooms and kitchen with supplies for the week, when suddenly, wow, that's a big spider. Oh my God. This big old beaver spider shows up and just completely stops all unpacking. Here's the current layout of the situation. There's a hallway here.
Oh my God.
A doorway here. A spider here, and we are all here.
Okay.
Bedrooms where we're unpacking stuff are over here, and literally everything else to the house is this way.
Oh my God.
So you can see we were in a bit of a pickle. The layout
Have
of the
to
house
burn it down.
a specific doorway that the spider was specifically in front of, blocking everybody, and being generally terrifying.
Oh
If
my
I had to
God.
guess what spider it was, I would say wolf spider. The as big as your hand
the
slash
picture.
big enough to eat a bird if you felt like it.
Oh
kind.
my God.
And because of that, nobody wanted to even get close to it. I'm a catch and release kind of guy, but not a catch and release at the expense of my arm kind of guy. So we had this problem that was affecting everybody, and 0 people who wanted to deal with it in an understandable way. Like, what if we try to kill it and we miss it, and then it scurries out of sight? Then we'd have even a worse problem.
Exactly.
Or if we do kill it and we hit it with like a broom, and then thousands of little babies.
Oh no!
no.
Instead of a big problem, a
getting
1,000
itchy.
smaller problems.
You know, Kevin James, he did a stand-up comedy thing I saw years ago. He had 2 jokes that stuck with me. One is he saw a spider on stage. He tries to kill it, and he was just pretending. And he goes, "Oh shoot, I missed. It saw my face." Like that feeling.
Yeah.
Him saying that was the first time I ever heard someone else say that out loud, and it made me so happy because I'm like, I relate.
I feel seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the second joke he made was just like he turned his back to the audience and was like, "What is it like to be a spider?" And he puts his arms up. He's like, "What an existence!" And it's like spiders are just hanging out all the time. It's the weirdest thing.
If we try to capture it and put it outside, it could jump on our face.
Ugh,
and then we would
no.
have a spider on our face problem.
he gets
but
it too.
thankfully I was there, and I didn't have the forethought to think of any of those situations. So I dove right in to solve the problem. I can't catch and release this spider. Even if I successfully got it outside, it's not like a bird would eat this thing. This thing would probably eat a bird. Think, Andy, think. Why is there a door there?
He's
Who
the
would
only
leave a
one
door in the
with
middle of the hallway? Wait a second. Spiders are smaller than doors. That means spiders are weak to doors. That means
I'm not going to touch that now. It's too big.
That's not a good idea.
Nature. I have a
That's
family.
impossible
A demon
for nature.
that could
My
work.
mom and dad
I-
would
Very good.
day. And as a reward, I didn't have to clean up the spider guts that was just splattered all over the floor and the door I just crushed it with. Woo! So after that problem was solved by genius boy Andy, we went back to unpacking and had a great rest of the trip. I love that place. A lot of good memories. Lots of good memories. There might be plans to go back there this summer, which I'm really quite excited for. More excited than that spider was big, which is, oh my God, so much.
I think this was an older video of his, but it's 4 years ago,
Yeah.
but I still enjoy it nonetheless. It's super, super relatable. Okay, so if you guys ever heard my story already, then you can just leave, but this is the story of when I encountered a giant spider in Thailand. And so what happened was Achara was like, "Hey friend, do you want to come to my sister's wedding?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" And so basically there's like bungalow hotels that are shared by a hallway.
Okay.
And so I'm trying to just work on my laptop, and she goes, "Hey, Jabby, don't want to make you upset right now."
Oh no.
I'm like, oh, God, what happened now? Because I assumed it was a work thing that she screwed up, right?
Yeah.
And she goes, "I need you to back up a little bit first
Oh
off."
no. I'm getting chills.
She goes, "There's a big spider above your head." And I look up, and it's like the size of my hand. And like the bitch starts coming out, and I'm like, why did we come to Thailand? Why did I agree to this trip? I need to go back to Bangkok, to like a city. I am not equipped for this environment. I looked at the size of the spider, and I was like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. I created a barrier so he can't go into the hallway. Only way he can go is out that door.
If all goes to plan.
Well, the plan was to bonk him.
Okay.
Bonk him hard. I took my dress shoe, I gave it to Achara, and I was like, "You do it." She's like, "Why me?" "Because you brought me here. You kill it." And so she gets up on a chair,
ruthless.
she's ready for it, and she smashes not only the spider, but through the drywall. Like there's a big old hole
You're
in the
kidding.
drywall, and the spider falls onto the floor and just like waltzes out the door like nothing. I'm like, what the hell just happened here? It didn't die.
Okay.
It just walked out.
It was too strong, honestly.
Yeah, the Shaquille O'Neal, Arnold Schwarzenegger
Of all the
spiders, and
yeah.
it just was like, all right, I'm done here, and walked out. And I was like, okay, hold on.
Ugh.
So that was in this room.
Oh God.
I wonder if there's anything else in any other room. So I walked down the hallway to the adjacent room. Under this chair, I saw this cockroach the size of like this remote control. Most giant cockroach I'd ever seen in my life. And I'm like, Achara, why are we in Thailand right now?
And they have to deal with that on the daily.
Yeah, but to them, it's just whatever.
It's just like a dog running down the street.
Speaking of dogs, I was in Texas. I was with a friend who was driving. We were going through the hills of Austin to a house party of some kind.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's interesting. He goes, what? I go, I just saw a spider crossing the road. That was a big spider I just saw crossing the road. Like, how can you see a spider crossing the road? Yeah. It was so big crossing the road.
You didn't think, like, at first, like, oh, hey, there's a dog, and then you went back and you were like, that dog had too many. Like, you just immediately knew right away?
I knew it was a spider. I registered spider, but I didn't register the scale of it. And I was like, wait a second. That had to be a huge spider to be able to see. Anyway, so what's your worst spider story, real quick?
A worst spider story.
Was it the one you just mentioned?
I'm thankful that I have not encountered a spider. I mean, I've seen spiders in the zoo and stuff. That's like probably the biggest spiders, but never out in the wild. I have crazy like rat stories. I don't know if that counts.
Oh my gosh. No, please don't.
I grew up on the East Coast, so I was in New York City a lot, and what they say about the rats, truly the size of a small dog, because there were times where my friends and I would be out, you know, getting pizza at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and you would just see like a little silhouette off into the distance, and you'd think, oh, someone lost their cat, and then you look closer and you're like, that is a massive rat. That is a huge rat. So it is interesting to see, though. It's kind of, you wonder what's going on underneath the streets for them to be able to grow so big. But no spider stories, thank God. Knock on wood. I'm gonna not jinx myself on that one because I don't know if I'd be able to recover.
Garbage everywhere in New York. It's not hard to like find leftovers, so.
But it gives it character. I love New York.
Yeah. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Let us know your horror stories in the comments below. Do subscribe, bell icon, all notifications, vote this up. Please follow Julia WEIN on the social media. And that's it for now. I'm Jabby Koei. This is
Julia. Hello.
It's our first outro today. Peace out.